They would not let us into any shelters in Houston, Texas. They would not allow us into any shelters out here in Atlanta, Georgia, and they have stolen my identification and my social and my wallet that I came down here with, and are refusing to give me my documents as far as proof of my identity as well. And they're trying to set us up to be killed out here in Atlanta, Georgia, and Georgia as well. So this lady even refused to help us get the cart running because I'm pregnant and I've been abused, and they think they're going to just murder me and set me up outside. So hopefully this will be a key detail to the investigation because they are trying to hide what they are out here doing. And but they treating it like, oh, they bullying me so bad altogether as a nation or a community, but then they're behaving as if they're hiding it as well. So for anybody who may not understand what's going on and may want to actually help and not understand how it got this bad for me to have been pregnant out on the streets and crying out for help, please understand that me and my son had an apartment. We were living somewhere, and his father came into the home attacking us, and they arrested me in a place where I went for help from my home. And when they had me in the jail, they held me for 10 months trying to torture me in the jail pregnant, and they took my son from me and also caused me to lose my apartment. So the setup to kill me came when my family was involved with trying to set me up to be killed. Friends, African Americans, all these white people trying to set me up to be killed, and knowing that she doesn't have an apartment anymore. She doesn't have anywhere to be with her baby. And we're not going to help her because we want to kill her because she shot a white man. And we're just going to leave her outside, pregnant and tortured, and keep on doing what we want to do to her and her baby. So when I called all the shelters after I got out of the jail, I went to family. They didn't want me to stay at their house knowing what they did to me and my baby. I went to shelters. They didn't want to let us in the shelters. Friends didn't want to let us come in their house, and then they were setting us up outside in Texas to be killed. And this is how I lost my home, with my baby daddy coming in attacking me, and I'm pregnant, and they setting me up outside to be murdered. I came to Atlanta, Georgia specifically 6, 7, 8 months ago, pregnant with this child. So I've been carrying this baby for 3 years, and they set me up outside out here when I started exposing, like, I'm pregnant, I'm abused, and the shelters in Atlanta are refusing to allow me into any of the shelters. And I finally got into the Salvation Army, and I told a woman named Ms. Yarborough that they tortured me in Houston, Texas. I'm pregnant. The doctors are refusing to confirm that I'm pregnant. My baby daddy was attacking us. He's white, and I shot him in the leg. So they tortured me and my baby in the Montgomery County Jail, and they refused us medical care and let me out of the jail with the baby alive in me, and the baby is alive, and they're refusing us medical care, and they ran us out of Texas, and me and the baby, and threatened to harm my son. I told her everything. And then they tried to ask me, do you know some family that you can go and live with, and maybe we can give them some money to help you out? And I already know that my family was setting me up to be killed from the jail because they knew the evidence that Andrea was protecting herself, and she's pregnant, and he was in there attacking her little boy. And they over here helping them erase evidence and lie about my pregnancy, and then try to kill me in the jail cell. And by the blood of Jesus, I ended up making it out of the jail cell still pregnant with the baby alive, after everybody was just going to let them just kill me and not come forward with the information, even was celebrating, like trying to celebrate my death. And so the lady, I told her no. I said, I don't have no family that I can go stay with. And then my spirit was like, that's a setup, because they already know your family gonna try to fuck you over, gonna try to mess you over, because they trying to have you killed. So you don't need to be around no family. So now, right now they got me wide open to everybody to do anything to me and the baby. And they've been trying to kill this baby in me, and it's not dead yet. And so Yeah, I've been carrying it 3 years, but it's not dead yet. And so they leaving me wide open, and that's why I went to the shelter, because I was like, in Texas they had people bringing me in their houses, trying to set me up to be killed, trying to starve me and the baby, trying to fight us all in Texas. And so because I shot a white man, and they got black people trying to fight me and my baby all out in Texas, and we ain't got no medical care. And so I was like, okay, well, I'm gonna come to Atlanta, Georgia. And because I had family trying to set me up in Arkansas, like, damn. And so me and the baby fled to Atlanta, Georgia, and I put it all over my social media that I was coming out here, and that I knew they was going to try to set me up in Atlanta, because that's how messy Atlanta is. I grew up here as a little girl. I already knew that Atlanta was going to try to set me up, but I'm like, damn, I didn't have no clue that they would actually sit here and try to murder my baby on the level that they doing when we need medical care. I don't care who put you up to trying to kill my child and me, if God is on my side. And that's the thing. Why do you have to lie and say that I'm not pregnant and then still keep chasing me around trying to murder my baby for a white man? And so me going to the shelter here, I was like, I need to get into a shelter because people keep trying to harm me in their houses with the baby. And I was like, and I know that in the shelter they can't be trying to harm us in no shelter. And so the ladies in the shelter was trying to harm us, and they was doing stuff to the food, and trying to give us little food, and then doing stuff to my place. And then they ended up trying to fight me outside of the shelter and trying to put me out of the shelter for putting out the evidence that I'm pregnant and that they did this to me in my body in Texas. So she got me wide open to men that's been forcing me to have sex with them in order to have somewhere to sleep, and I have not been able to have anywhere to sleep, or in order to have any food to eat and stuff. And we have been being starved and sex trafficked, and all of these women know, but their mentality is demonic, to where instead of them being like, okay, we gonna help this pregnant black woman, they all like, okay, this is how we gonna get her. This is how we gonna try to hurt her baby. This is how we gonna try to kill her. This is how we gonna try to get up under this person and that person that did it to her in Texas, and this person that did it to her in Arkansas. And we, they even got people migrating here to harm us. That's coming from different parts of the United States, and they all setting us up. And then people is trying to kill the baby in me and have me smoking cigarettes, and then try to say that, oh, it's a tumor. Like, what a disgrace to lie. But anyway, so that's how they set me up to be outside on the streets, to set me up to be killed with a baby in me. And the black men is trying to get me to smoke and have sex with them, knowing that I'm pregnant, and then they trying to rape me during the sex. To try to hurt the baby head, and try to squeeze my belly too hard and hurt me. And then they walking around trying to intimidate me, riding around trying to intimidate me, riding on bikes trying to intimidate me, riding on scooters trying to intimidate me, coming down the street yelling, trying to intimidate me, wearing gang colors, just keep showing up, bothering me everywhere, congregating all around me because I'm pregnant and I shot this white man. They've been abusing me since inside of the jail, and he was abusing me in my home. So they just been abusing me this entire pregnancy. So instead of everybody just like, oh, we know we all been abusing her, they like, okay, well, let's just say she's abusing cigarettes, and that she's abusing, this. And the cigarettes is because they've been abusing me. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just trying to get the point across to these people that I'm pregnant. You do not abuse me. So they're lying about it. And even if I wasn't pregnant, it still wouldn't be right for them to be abusing me. But that's how they setting me up outside, and I've been having to sleep on benches. I called all of the shelters in Atlanta over and over, and they kept telling me no, just like in Texas. And like I told you, I lost my apartment because I was protecting myself from my baby daddy and protecting my child, and I'm pregnant. And they charged me for protecting myself, knew that I was pregnant, held me in the jail cell, refusing to give us extra food. They starved me, and they was trying to poison me me and kill the baby and murder us before the trial. And Jesus Christ was with us, and he said to let us go. He said he was abusing me and my son. He said that I'm pregnant. He was fighting all the black people that was trying to fight us and do voodoo and witchcraft for them. He was fighting everybody, and they said they was gonna rape my baby, my little boy that I was protecting, as well as retaliation, and said they was gonna kill the baby in me and murder us. So that's the whole plot that the United States have, that everybody have. You know, I would not be on my social media. I never had a YouTube, so the only reason why I had to even start creating it was because they were trying to kill me outside and do the same thing to me outside in Texas. So my thing is that if America gonna have a united front to lie about my pregnancy, and then you see how big my baby bump is, and then if it was not for God, I would not have no hope right now, even for this child that I'm carrying. I was so small inside of that jail that God was yelling. He was yelling at them, but they talking about they Satanists and talking about they worship Satan and talking about they denounce Jesus, and then just dead set on not listening to him. And God been saying, leave her alone, give her a baby, he better be alive, you know, and they just continuing to be wicked, and it's just simply up under Satan, period. And so they set me up outside, continuing to carry this baby. They continuing to lie about it. They got us walking miles. My feet is hurting. My feet is swollen. You know, this baby have been like scratching at me a little bit from having me walking so much. And I'm tired of these people, man. And my phone is dead, and I'm having to charge up my phone wherever I can in between miles out here in Stone Mountain, Georgia. And the black men is walking around right now in their little gang colors, trying to act all hard and shit about trying to kill me and my children, and everybody else trying to spy and, you know, listen and just be demonic. And I'm about to go in here and get my Bible, because I don't appreciate living in a nation where you got to sit there and try to pretend like you're Christians and you're over here not listening to the Lord when he said that my baby was not going to die. So I'm over here carrying a baby that God is saying is not going to die, and they're all trying to kill it. And I am scared, you know, because that is wicked, when God have been telling them over this past 3 years that they've been abusing me, even from the jail while they was abusing me, that he told them to stop doing this to my pregnancy, and they have not stopped doing it. And talking about they worshiping talking about they worshiping Satan and white women and white people, and because I shot a white person, they dead set on trying to get away with killing my child. And then to sit there, and that's a disgrace, to sit there and let me suffer with a baby in me for 3 years that God said is not going to die, and they steady trying to kill it. So I'm like, okay, what are y'all going to do next? You know what I'm saying? To try to get away with killing my child in me, and then they don't want people to know that they said they was gonna rape my son. Cynthia is dead set on being wicked enough to say that because you shot my white son, I'm gonna rape your little boy, and we're all gonna rape your little boy. But then you dead set on not coming out and telling the truth about what you said. And these people that's helping her, like, if she was bold enough to say you big and bad enough to rape my son because I shot a white man, then you should be bold enough in front of all of your people in your coven that help you rape children. She should be big enough to go on ahead and say, yeah, I said it. Yeah, we said it, and so what? And no, we not gonna give you back your baby. But they out here trying to kill me about telling about that as well. And I'm like, okay, y'all said it. Y'all said y'all was gonna rape him. So what? I'm his mother. I'm his mother. So I'm not gonna shut up about you saying you gonna rape my child. Like, it's no form of intimidation that you can do to me. Like, you can have all the black people in the world try to hurt me. You can have all the black men in the world try to kill me. I'm not gonna stop telling that you threatened to rape my child because I shot your white son in the leg. And they all threatened to rape my little boy. And then they coming around acting like, oh, they gonna shoot me, and got black men shooting guns around me. You know, they done had black men pulling guns out on me and pointing it to my head, you know, before the custody hearing for my child that I won. And they still bogarted my son from me and threatened to rape him. And then they still trying to set me up to be killed outside. I'm not even really sleeping. I'm sitting at bus stops every single night with them swarming around trying to do this. And this lady Rochelle put me out of the Salvation Army months ago. And I told y'all how long I've been carrying the baby. And they watching my social media on top of that, all on my channel, seeing that I'm telling. So for me, I'm just like, God, please, Lord Jesus, just do something. Because like I said, if it wasn't for Jesus, I wouldn't even have any hope in this situation, dealing with something like this. But because Jesus Christ was on my side, that he was abusing me and my son, and he knows that they did take him and threaten to rape him, I'm like, God, what are you going to do about this? And then they out here trying to set me up to be murdered in Clarkston, Georgia, and everywhere I go in Atlanta, they're trying to set me up to be killed. And I'm stuck in this city because I was not supposed to be outside in Atlanta. I was supposed to be in the shelter, and I was supposed to be getting my medical care and putting out my evidence while I was in the shelter, and I was supposed to be able to get me a